to grow.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important. Welcome to Charikulia TV. Hi, well, my name is Julien Lutgen. I'm general manager at Harris and Pop in Klappergarding. I'm a bit mixed. I'm French-Italian. I grew up in Switzerland. I'm in Indonesia since a bit over 1 year, taking that role and enjoying my time in this difficult situation.
Great. So, how do you like Indonesia?
It's home. Pretty much it's home for me. I have, well, my wife is Indonesian, so it's the second time I have the chance to work in Indonesia. So it's, again, it was really a coming home for me, so I'm really enjoying the time.
Okay, cool. So before we start, I'm gonna throw you, let's say, 5 random questions. It's just like a warm-up before we start into the, you know, the hard part. Okay, first question. What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie? I think I don't have a favorite movie. I have a favorite type of movies.
Genres?
Must be, let's call it a bit from my origin. I like the old style Italian mafia movie. It's maybe a cliche, but I really like them. Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, that's the old, like, proper movies, in my opinion.
All right.
In my opinion.
Cool. Okay, second question. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue?
Yeah. Must be because I like water so much. So, but I'm pretty blue, yeah.
All right, third question. Say one sentence, any sentences in Indonesian.
Saya suka banyak-banyak Jakarta.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Alright, so that one you will have to cut.
Okay, fourth question. What's your favorite Indonesian food?
My favorite Indonesian food is Padang. I love Padang food.
So you like spicy food?
I love spicy food.
Jeez.
Last question. Okay, what's your favorite thing to do early in the morning?
Early in the morning, I see what's going on in the hotel. So I look at my figures and I read the news.
Come on.
It's boring, but yes, I know, but it's pretty much, well, when I wake up, that's what I do.
Okay.
I see if, let's say, everything is right.
So you're like a control freak then?
I'm not a control freak, but, well, I rather like to know instead of finding out later. It's more about that, I would say.
Let's jump into the hard questions. So can you tell me about your experience? How do you become you today? Maybe you can start from college. You can tell the story from college.
As mentioned, I'm a bit mixed. So I'm born in France, I'm originally from Italy, and I grew up in Switzerland, in the German part. So, well, I did a business school in Basel, which is in the north of Switzerland. Business was not really for me, I would say, the business school, which I finished. I needed some time to find my way, let's put it this way, maybe a bit longer than other people. And at the end, I found hospitality. I guess it's a mix of, I always like to travel, to go around. So it's combining that, because obviously working in a hotel, you have the chance and opportunity to travel, to go around, to see the world. I was lucky enough to make some studies in Lausanne, so in École Hôtelière de Lausanne. And after that, the world became my playground, we can say. I never worked in a hotel in Switzerland. I always worked abroad.
Why?
How it started?
You're not interested, or?
No, well, Switzerland is very nice. Absolutely, I grew up there, I did my studies there. But for me, on one point, it was, or it became too small. There's much more opportunities if you are open to go around. You see whatever position you want, you start as a front office receptionist or whatever you want, or a waiter in F&B, speaking about the hotels. If you look just in one city in Switzerland, or if you just look in wherever in Europe or wherever in the world, you have more opportunities, you have more chances. And I guess that was, well, combined with, anyways, I liked to go around. This pushed me more outside.
Well, the way we think, it's the other way around, you know, because for Indonesian people, students, their ultimate goal is to work in Switzerland, because that's the #1 hospitality place. That's what I heard.
I mean, there's beautiful hotels, there's beautiful palaces. Then I guess it depends really on the person and what you seek. I'm not sure if it's what you seek out of life, but what you wanna do. And for me, I knew it already in a very, very young age that there was a very big chance that I will not stay in Switzerland, that I will travel around. And well, as it appeared, it ended up like that.
Because you finished business school first. Yep. So absolutely. Why did you choose hospitality?
It was that mix of, well, after business school I worked in a lot of different things, everything and nothing, just to see, to find, well, my way, if I can say so. And then, yeah, came out that actually, well, I like to travel around. So one way to travel and to live actually in other places and work there and be able to sustain yourself, hospitality came out for me. I guess also it's combined with hospitality is not one day is the same than the other one. So I guess that's what I really like in hospitality. I wake up tomorrow, I go to work, maybe not tomorrow, it's Saturday, but well, the day is not going to be the same than the day before or tomorrow. So it's always new challenges, always new things which happen, last minute things. I like the stress a bit. I love it, you know, when it's a bit hectic.
Yeah.
And when I have to find solutions. So I guess this pushed me really in that way. It's not a normal office job, you know.
Oh yeah.
So
you like the challenge?
I love challenges.
Speaking of challenges, I want you to think of one thing. Maybe it's a recurring problem, or it's a problem that you have experienced it before, but it seems that you cannot solve the problem. But you wish that there's someone or something, some company could offer that solution. What would it be?
I will not go in a specific hotel task. I really take a big picture, and I can tell you that from my experience, obviously. This would be that for, let's say, people like me, which travel around, that you can get a bit more a sense of security of employment. Sometimes I guess that would be definitely something which I believe would motivate more people to move out and to go out of their country, because they still have some sense of security in terms of where I want to go is more in terms of contracts, of possibility which you have depending the countries where you work, that you might need to leave. So not that you are out of job straight away. So I would say it's really to keep the people which are motivated to move around to be able to secure more their employment. It's maybe a big word, but to give more opportunities for them to be able to stay working abroad, like
Okay.
I would say I think that would definitely help also to have, let's put it like that, more talents which are more keen to move around.
Okay.
So it's pretty much the government area.
Yeah, it's government slash, I would say it's more bigger groups because a bigger hospitality group can do that.
No, yeah, true, because they have the capital and resources. Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's talk about your experience. Okay, so where was the first hotel that you worked at? Where was it?
In the Maldives.
Maldives.
Yeah.
So straight out of the university?
Yes, well, straight after the school. Well, okay, I did some stage, so internship. I don't count that in. But like the first job which I took was in the Maldives, on a resort island in the North Malay Atoll.
And how long was it?
1 year.
Only 1 year.
Don't say only 1 year for the Maldives. I lived on was roughly 400 meters by 100 meters.
So there's nothing you can do besides enjoying the the area of the hotel.
Yes, you live on the hotel. You're pretty much there. Well, I was kind of lucky. I was in charge of excursions when I was working there, so I moved around. Well, obviously excursions. So I wasn't only stuck on the island, but yeah, it's let's call it a golden paradise, especially if you work there.
Okay, nice.
So after Maldives, where did you work?
After Maldives, I moved to Paris, and I worked well for a big chain in Paris, business hotel, completely different, 620 rooms, so pretty big. And there I started in room division, so I went to the front office. I stayed there for 4 years, approximately.
I love Paris.
Yeah, it's nice. It was nice. Well, I stayed there 4 years, so I kind of liked it, definitely. No, it was nice. It was a very good experience because it was well, it's a big hotel. It was a busy hotel. So.
And then?
After that, after that I started really to move out. So after Paris, I moved to Bali.
So Bali first.
Yeah, Bali first, and this was well, same chain. I think I can say it's Accor. So I worked for Accor for many years, and was for an opening. So I stayed there roughly 2 years. Completely different, obviously. Also challenging, but well, I enjoyed my time there as well. After Bali, I moved to Thailand. Thailand was interesting. Was a bit a shorter period there. I stayed roughly 6 months. After that, I moved to England, out of Accor, to another chain, so it was IHG. Stayed there for 2 years, roughly. Business hotel, very busy. Very interesting because it's you have much less manpower, so it's you do everything. So I was front office manager there, so but very long days. But yeah, I gained again there and a lot of knowledge. And after that, back to Accor. I went to Turkmenistan, which is challenging. The least we can say. It's a pretty closed country. It was for an opening hotel there as well, and we stayed roughly 8-9 months. After that, unfortunately, we had to move out. After that, I went to Africa, to Congo, Kinshasa. Worked there for 3-4 years. Regardless to say, also pretty challenging situations.
Obviously.
Very interesting to work there. I think there, I must say, the learning curve was very big, because obviously you have a technical aspect and a very delicate social aspect, which you need to combine. Very interesting. After that, I moved to Azerbaijan, so pretty close to Turkmenistan, to Baku to be precise. Again, Accor, there also for 2.5-3 years. And after that, to Jakarta. So I ended up here. So it's a bit popping around. Yeah, it's always a couple of years.
Yeah.
So now you're a general manager, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. So out of all the hotels that you have worked at, which one is, I would say, interesting?
The most interesting and challenging, I guess, was in Congo. In Congo was.
It's because of the politics and the country itself.
Yeah, well, it's politics and country. That and Turkmenistan, because it's two very, very challenging countries where you really need to be cautious and careful. The way you act, the way you do the things. So it's, I would say between Congo and Turkmenistan was definitely the most challenging ones, but I love it. It's definitely, I would do it again.
Okay, you would do it again.
Absolutely.
All right.
So I want to know, how did you reach general manager? So the first job that you took, was it
Excursions. I was in charge
Maldives.
of excursions in the Maldives.
So is it true that if you want to become a general manager, you have to work your way up from the bottom in hospitality?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So there's no
shortcuts,
quick way?
I don't see a sustainable shortcut.
Why do you think that is?
It's like in a lot of things, it's the path who leads you to the position. In my case, to be now a general manager, is the path I went through, the experience I gained, the things I did well, and well, obviously the ones which I didn't do that well, which make me now take more right decisions than wrong decisions, you know. So there's no shortcut out of it.
But there are so many positions in a hotel, right? So what did you take on your university? What part of hospitality? Is it management?
It's management. It's hospitality management. And there's maybe we can say so. There's maybe a wrong perception that when you study management, you come out and you manage.
No.
You don't. You don't. There are some cases, but again, there's no. In my experience and the people I met, there's no shortcut in that. You know, you need to go through the different levels, you know. Some have maybe a bit easier path because there's more opportunity coming your way than other people have. But at the end, you have to work your way through it, you know.
True.
But from your experience, because like I said, there are so many positions in a hotel. It's because hospitality is in my mind is a hospital, in a hotel. So which position that I would say,
which path you take to become a general manager, which way you want to go?
Yeah, but it couldn't be so many, right? It could be from marketing, from management.
There's mainly two.
Mainly two?
There's two. You mainly speak about two main divisions which bring you to the top. One is the room division and one is the F&B, so the food and beverage. So room division is reception, housekeeping, and the F&B is obviously or service or F&B manager on one point or executive chef, and then you become a number two. So there's the two main paths which traditionally lead you to become a general manager.
Oh, okay.
I took rooms.
Oh, you took rooms?
I was working in rooms, so I was at the reception, I was a guest experience, I was a supervisor, I became an assistant, I became front office manager, I became room division manager, I became number 2, I became hotel manager, and then I became general manager.
So marketing is under the room division, is it?
Marketing
or is it different by itself?
Connected to sales.
Yeah.
So it's sales and marketing.
Ah, so those people are not on track, or you can, right?
You can. I mean, it really depends the groups you work in. So there's groups which you have general managers which come from finance, you know, and then they become, so they are director of finance, financial controller, however you want to call it in the structure you're in, and then they become general managers. But I would say it's it's the operation which brings you more up, is because you have the part of the knowledge of whatever, is it room or F&B, so you have that knowledge in that division, and you have the handling of the people, because I mean it's a lot of people management in a hotel, you know.
Yeah, it's a service industry.
Yeah, first of all that, so you have the service which you provide to the guest, and I mean you have your employees, you know, so a lot of people working together, a lot of people from different backgrounds, a lot of people from everything different. It's a big pot, you know, and sometimes, so the people management comes out a lot. So if you are in a department where it's you and yourself, or you and yourself and a person, you're not really managing a team, you know. So, and at the end, well, I manage a team, you know, the hotel team, obviously.
What are the number one thing, maybe quality, that a person need to have to become a general manager like yourself? Maybe you can see from your previous bosses that they have, that you adapted so that you have it right now to become a general manager?
Absolutely, definitely. I'm definitely adapted from all of them I worked with. That's obvious, you know. You take the good and the bad, you take with you, and you know that I'm gonna do this, I rather maybe don't gonna do. I think you need to be flexible and adaptable. That's, I would say, and it's nothing hospitality related, obviously, but I think you need to, you know, you need to adapt to situations. You need to be flexible. What is right today might be wrong tomorrow, and you don't need to be scared to change, you know. I always think, you know, you try something today, it works, go on with it. It doesn't, we change, and we change. It's you need to be, I am the locomotive, the
engine.
The engine, exactly, thank you, of, you know, you need to, the boat needs to move on. So that's your quality, so you can't just stock, it's not black and white. I mean, there's a lot of colors in between and shades, so you really need to adapt, and that's the managing of what you need to do on the financial aspect, on the owner aspect, on the staff aspect, on the guest aspect, in the country you are or not. So it's so definitely you need to be. You need to adapt, to have an open mind, to be flexible.
You have worked with Indonesian people, right, for quite a while. What are they lacking at? Because everyone has their own quality and specialty, but one thing that you notice, maybe, I don't know, from your experience, from you or other expats, right? What are they lacking at?
Again, I don't think nobody really lacked of something, regardless where I worked, you know. You have to look at it like that, you know. It's not the people don't have that knowledge or that reflex or whatever. It's depending the situation where you're in. Comes back to what I said before. I need to adapt with the people which I have. to have the perfect employee which is doing everything right. That's not existing.
Of course.
You know,
yeah.
so I don't have anything which I can say, oh, this I really, they really don't have that. I don't think so, no. It's really there, it's me, the managers I work with, the manager I was, which needs to adapt and get that out, what I need, so that I can do my job, so that I can do the service or provide the service which I need to have. So that's why it's really, you need to adapt a lot, you know. And when you think that you're going to have the perfect hotel where everything works and never something breaks down, it's not existing, you know. It doesn't work like that. And for me, that's the beauty, you know. I don't want robots which know everything, you know. It would be, don't get me wrong, but I think a bit boring, you know. That's the challenge, you know. It's you have people. I worked with people which have been pushed down by previous teams, and which, just because you trigger some points, they shine like huge, you know. So you see qualities, you find qualities which were pushed down, hidden. So it's really you as a manager to find that out, you know. So it's not lacking, because if not, everybody lacks. I lack of things. Everybody lacks of things, you know. So it's, you know, it's more that it's really the adaptation, you know. It's there's people that say think out of the box. I say take the box, throw it away, you know. It goes even that far, you know. It's really that. There's no more box. There's nothing, and that's, put yourself in question all the time.
All right.
That's what I try to do every day.
Tell me one, I'm gonna say, worst experience that you've had before when you worked in other hotels.
Okay.
But that worst experience is actually made you what you are today. What was it? Maybe it's something like your lowest moment in your professional life. Was there any?
I would say there's a lot. That's why, I mean, there's a lot of worst experiences. Do you want a situation where I really didn't like to be in? Something like that?
Something that actually taught you to be a better GM now.
It's a tricky one, because I don't think there's really one, you know. But if I have to go there, I would say it was definitely in Africa, and it was situations which I experienced there. I can't go too much into detail, yeah. But it's a situation which happened with a guest, and so it was between a guest and a local person. And well, the way I initially handled that situation, could have brought me in very, very big trouble. So I was kind of lucky that it ended out well for me. And the reason why it ended out well was purely out of, and that's the person who told me afterwards, purely out of respect which I showed to that person. And I was very close to fly out the same day. Proper.
It's that bad.
Yeah, no, it was a very tricky situation, and I made a small mistake, which could have turned badly towards me, and thanks God, because well, I was understanding on that person, and that person apparently, well, that's what she told me, saw that the same way. So was like, all right, I keep it like this. Thank you very much. And I was like, wow, okay, thank you.
So was that on your first year or towards the end of the year?
Was pretty much in the middle.
In the middle?
No, sorry, it was at the beginning. Was pretty much at the beginning. Yeah, no, it was at the beginning. Was at the beginning. Yeah, there's some rules, unwritten rules. I had the luck to work with, let's call it old wolves, okay, which knew their way around. Unfortunately, I didn't call, and I just acted. And then I called, and then it was like, wow. And then, well, it turned out all right. But yeah, I learned my lesson.
Okay, okay.
Okay, before, I know you told me about this, but I want everyone to hear. What was the best experience you've had working in a hotel?
The best experience? I'm not sure I told you that one.
Oh, I thought the one you work in the palace.
That one was definitely a good experience, but if I have to choose one, I wouldn't say that one. Okay. And I would go back, when I mentioned before, there's people which are pushed down, you know. Their capabilities are not developed to the fullest. And yeah, well, was again also in Africa. But there's one staff member which worked with me. I think that's for me a very nice experience because, well, I was able, when I left, I mean, that gentleman has been promoted. I was able to increase his salary. He took my position when I left. So he wasn't from being completely in the shadow to, yeah.
The number one.
To become the number one of the department, you know. So it's, and yeah, well, there was, you know, it's very touchy moment, you know. I mean,
seeing your prodigy.
And yeah, no, but the guy merited 1000%, you know, and for him, I mean, it changed his life completely, you know. So I think that's nice. That's nice things, you know. You have to see like that. I mean, we work in hospitality. In my case, you work a couple of years. So, you know, you are there only for a time being. So, I'm not going to say call it legacy, you know, but, well, the good thing you can do, if you can do it, and especially with the people who really merit it, I mean, I think that's the biggest satisfaction.
Just a side note, because I mentioned this before, when you work in a palace. So Julien here worked at a palace in France. In which city?
Was in Biarritz. Was an internship, but yeah, I worked there. I worked there, in a palace.
So he worked at the palace, and he had to stay in one of the rooms, right?
Correct.
Where it overlooked the ocean.
Correct. I opened my window, I sit outside of the window and I look at the ocean. So this was, and I was a trainee, so it was beautiful, beautiful. I know. I fell asleep every night with the waves making the sound on the stones. So beautiful.
When he told me that story, I was like imagining, must be very, very nice.
Beachfront allocation, so I mean, you can't get it much better. I didn't even have that in the Maldives. Well, I was a jump away, but yeah. No, this was definitely nice. Nice experience.
Last question I want to ask you is tips to all the viewers, maybe students who are starting or going to start their hospitality in a university. What would you say to them that maybe it would be useful for them when they work?
Be passionate. That's definitely the first thing. Meaning, when I go to work, my day is never long enough because there's so much to do, and I'm passionate of what I do. And if you choose to work in hospitality, you need to be passionate because You work maybe split shift, you work maybe evening, afternoon, everybody is off, you're working. So if you can cope with that, and if you love the guest contact, go for it. Ask always for more. Don't be shy, ask questions. That's what I did. I asked questions, I did my job, and I asked for more, and I asked for more, and I asked for more. And I'm pretty sure you guys will get good managers too, like I had the chance to have. And they will give you more, and they will see your potential and the skills you have, and then the machine is running. You know, you need to have a goal, you go towards it, and well, as we know, nothing is for free, you know, so you have to work for it. There's no shortcut, but it's definitely a nice path.
Okay, so don't be afraid to ask.
No, ask for more, always.
Yeah.
Be curious, I mean, be curious to learn, be eager to go on.
All right.
I think that's the biggest tip I can give. That's what I did, and it brought me here. So
it brought you here.
So it works, you know, it works. So it's really, you have to want to go on, to continue, to learn, to grow.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important.
All right, I think that's it for today. Maybe next time if we have another chance to talk about specific stuff in the hospitality, we will. All right, Julien, grazie mille.
Prego, prego, my pleasure.
All right, maybe I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
Thank you, bye-bye.